I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this and I will take that ride home.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Have you joined the fastest growing fantasy motorsports app yet? On Grid Rival, you can join leagues with your friends and manage your own fantasy team on what race fans are calling, hands down, the best fantasy motorsport app out there. F1 and MotoGP leagues are now live for the 2021 season. Joining a league on Grid Rival will make every race more exciting, more engaging, and of course, more competitive. Download Grid Rival now on your iPhone or Android smartphone. Grid Rival is an unofficial application and not associated with Formula One, MotoGP, or any of their athletes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Auto Club Speedway, Fontana, California, where tonight the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series getting ready to kick things off for their next full season of action. My name is Chris Graham with the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have you joining us here this evening. Looking forward to a pretty spectacular race here. 120 laps, the scheduled distance. Going to make this probably a 4, possibly a 5-stop race, and qualifications just getting underway here at the Auto Club Speedway. 2-mile oval, basically a twin racetrack to the Michigan Speedway that has always provided spectacular racing in the past. We are going to see a whole lot more of that coming up here this season. Let's pick up Mr. Alec Coates as he makes his way into turns 1 and 2. Get you the best lap times here as Alec has just finished up his runs. We're approaching the halfway point of qualifications. Here's Lee Walter Huber in the number 19 Alpha Tauri Honda, making his way down the back straightaway. He's your quick timer, 32.234 seconds. Get you the qualifying mode up on the bottom of the screen. You'll see drivers setting a personal best lap as Huber goes for a wild ride through the infield. That'll be the end of lap number 2 for him. Drivers that go purple are those that have gone fastest in that sector. TJ McMurray did it on the first half of the racetrack. What's he do here? Oh, gave up a bunch of time in the second half of the racetrack. He's going to be 8th quick, 32.307 seconds. Pick up your defending series champion carrying the number 1 plate this season. That is Matt Wagner. Getting underway on lap number 1, Charles Teed moving to 2nd quick at a 32.237 second lap. Wagner's first lap in the books at a 32.83. No quick time, top of the board, 32.233 seconds. Wagner and Huber both going purple on the board. Those lap times are equal to the 1,000th of a second. Actually equal to the 10,000th of a second. Based on what the rounding is going to do. .225 miles an hour, the average speed for Matt Wagner. Fantastic qualifying session so far here, and let's get you your results from qualifying. Show them to you as the car is going to start to get out onto the grid. Identical to the 1,000th. Matt Wagner and Lee Walter Huber. 32.233 seconds. So the difference is in the 10,000th of a second range. Charles Teed, how about 3,000ths of a second back in third? Alec Coates, 1,500ths of a second back. Jason Hand within 32 thousandths of a second. That's insane. By the way, 15 thousandths, was the number there for Alec Coates. 19 cars on the grid here. Everybody from 15th place, Joseph Morales, back to 19th place, Jeff Destino, did not set a time here in qualifications. There you see the field out on the racetrack. Let's get you the starting grid for tonight. Matt Wagner will line up alongside Lee Walter. Huber, Charles Teed, and Alec Coates will occupy row number 2. Jason Hand, J.W. Miller on row 3, Jim Brooks, and James Watson on row number 4. Gary Corley, Connor Baldwin on row 5. That same Connor Baldwin doing the camera design for us here tonight. Thank you very much for that, Connor. We really appreciate it, brother. TJ McMurray, Ty Richter going to be on row number 6. Row 7 will have Victor Aldrich and Cullen Johnston. Row number 8, Joseph Morales and Timothy Watson. Couple of cars that did not take time. Julian Altina, Gary Godso on row number 9. And all alone on row 10 will be Jeff Destino. Julian Altina had a fantastic second half of the season last year. Get you a look at Julian as he starts to make his way out onto the racetrack. The Velocity Online Racing, number 31. He was very quick. This guy at the front was even quicker. Matt Wagner taking the pole position here this evening. Seeing Julian checking in the comments here. California, baby. Yes, sir. And a last to what challenge? Well, I think that's going to be the exciting one to check out here this evening. Field is already making their way through turns 3 and 4. This place is going to be wide, fast, and spectacular. Give it a like and a share if you're enjoying what you're seeing, because this one is going to be a ton of fun. Off at turn number 4, the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR season is ready to begin. And as always, race fans, this one's going to be all yours. Off of turn number 4, how about Charles Teed making an early jump for the race lead? He's going to be leading lap number 1. Matt Wagner side by side as they get back to turn 1. Tell you a little bit about what we're expecting here tonight. Teams are going to have a total of 5 sets of tires available to them. The one they start the race on, 4 available in the pits. We are expecting a 4-stop race. Pit stops anywhere from lap 22 to lap number 30. It is possible, if you can make it go 30 laps, that you could do it on 4 stops, but it seems highly, highly unlikely, especially when caution flags start to fly. Wouldn't expect to see anybody come in until about lap 15 at the earliest. Everybody's starting to settle in a little bit here, but not at the front of the field. Matt Wagner, Alec Coates dueling side by side. Coates may have an opportunity to slide in here, and he does. Slide back just a little bit. Connor Baldwin making his way up towards the front. Baldwin going to run that high line through 1 and 2. Fight for the lead starting to intensify once again. Matt Wagner, Alec Coates battling side by side. Fastest lap of the race last time by belonged to Connor Baldwin, 32.276 seconds. They're hauling the mail, that's for sure. Over 225 mile an hour lap averages. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, where you're checking out the show tonight. We'll try to be as interactive as we can here. Baldwin looks to the outside of Wagner. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Five laps completed. Alec Coates is your race leader over Matt Wagner, Connor Baldwin, Charles Teed, Lee Walter Huber. But that top spot going to continue to cycle around. Baldwin trying to make that outside lane work in the Baldwin Agriland number 20. Coates slots right up in front, takes the air off the front of that machine. They'll get a big draft down the back straightaway. Baldwin once again peeks to the outside. Coates going to run him up the track just a little bit. Dirty air will come into play here. However, the corners are so wide and fast that it's not as big of a deal. How about Charles Teed way back to the inside? We're still 3 wide for the lead. Teed's going to grab it off at 2. $240 miles, the scheduled distance here this evening. And this race has been nothing short of wild. Matt Wagner back to the inside of Teed. Here's Baldwin. He's going to go up the gut 3 wide. Tucks back in behind Wagner. That's going to leave Teed hung out to dry. He slots down in front of Ty Richter. Pace laps at 225 miles an hour. Oh, man, they thought about 4 wide there for a moment. This early in the race, it's not a good idea, but there's going to be no lift when we get down to a handful of laps to go here. Early trouble for Julian Altina and Victor Aldrich. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Aldrich having an issue that did not bring out a caution flag. Oh, yeah, a little bit of contact. He bounces it hard off the outside retaining wall. Got it down to the inside of the racetrack, and we stay green. May have been Julian Altina that he made contact with, because Altina has made a pit stop already. The battles for the lead are intense. We've got another one forming up back here Gary Corley, Ty Richter battling side by side just behind Lee Walter Huber. Timothy Watson and James Watson going to fight as well. J.W. Miller just in front of them up on the outside of the racetrack in that Castrol All-American Eagles throwback. Excuse me, All-American Racers throwback. Teed and Wagner continue to duel. Oh, Connor Baldwin thought about going to the apron. That's off limits until the last lap of the race. He is all over the place. Baldwin now going to try the high line. He's going to need some drafting help to make that work, though. Once again, 3 wide down the back straightaway for the race lead. This is absolutely intense stuff here at the front of the field. 12 laps in the books. Teed slides up to block the advance by Baldwin down the back straightaway. Wagner all alone down the inside of the racetrack. Baldwin doing Teed no favors. Quite frankly, he's not doing anybody who's running just ahead of him any favors. When he swings way out to the outside, takes the drafting help away that they might need to make the pass into the corner. And it's punching such a big hole in the air, it's really allowing this whole second group to catch up. Alec Coates, Ty Richter, Gary Corley, just back behind the race leaders. Looks like Wagner may have settled this, but Baldwin fighting back on the outside. He's cleared Charles Teed. Teed going to go with Wagner down to the inside. Pretty insane. The group of cars at the front of the field here goes all the way back to 13th place, Joseph Morales. Then it's a 1.2 second gap back to Jim Brooks, who runs in the 14th position, with Jason Hand and TJ McMurray. Jeff Destino has lost the draft entirely. Actually, quite frankly, going to be in danger of going a lap down here before too long. We'll see how the tires are going to start to handle over the last 10 or so laps of this run. And that's the other big challenge. The drivers do have to call out when they're pitting. However, pit entrance is basically the only way to do it is off at turn number 4. That can be very challenging to get that car woed up. Now Baldwin going to look back to the inside of Matt Wagner. Slides up the racetrack a little bit off the turn 2. Slide back just a little bit here. Pick up this battle. J.W. Miller, Alec Coates. Miller's on the outside, bringing Gary Corley along. Now Miller slots in front of Ty Richter. Corley was stuck up on the outside, but he's going to get Richter cleared as well. Everybody's starting to run just a little bit higher in the corners here. We were hearing at about halfway through the fuel stint, tire wear numbers upwards of 90% still available on those right side tires. However, I don't think you're going to want to try to double stint the tires, only because it takes about as long to fill the car with fuel as it takes to put 4 tires on it. So it's really a zero-sum game, basically, in terms of taking tires. You're going to be stationary one way or the other. You might as well get the fresh dance shoes on these Dallara IR18 hot rods. you start to wonder some of the drivers that you might have expected to see be a little bit more aggressive early on in this race. Guys like James Watson back here in the 8th position. He seems very content to run back here in the pack, not burn off a ton of fuel, probably sitting at map 2, maybe even map 3. You're just going to cruise here, at least until it's really time to go. Once again, 3 wide for the race lead into turn number 3. So we see Julian Altina on the bottom of the racetrack. Unfortunately for Julian, it's not going to be a last to what question, as he's currently 1 spot back of where he started this race. Connor Baldwin, your hard charger of the race so far, up 8 spots, currently running in the 2nd position. Ty Richter is up 6. Timothy Watson up 6 as well. 22 laps in the books. Oh, almost contact. Wagner almost got into the back of Charles Teed. How about it? Charles Teed coming around Connor Baldwin for 2nd. Alec Coates coming around Matt Wagner. Wagner may have an issue here as he is starting to fall back through the field. If you're trying to fuel save, it's probably too late in the run for that. See if we can get a little bit closer look at that race car here. See if there's any damage on it. There may have been contact. Now the question becomes, who has to pit and when? I would imagine Connor Baldwin is going to be towards the front of that list. Same for Charles Teed. They have been very close to full rich on the fuel map this entire time, especially Baldwin, to be moving up 8-9 spots through the field. I would imagine a strategy play of stay out of the mess, quite frankly. Ordinarily, drivers dipping down to the bottom of the racetrack would be an indication that they're going to pit. But everything has been so competitive. Oh, here we go. First car is coming down pit road. They're going to be led by Connor Baldwin. And Baldwin is coming all alone. This one is an absolute killer for Connor Baldwin. He will have no drafting help. When he gets down off a pit road this time, he's going to have to hope everybody else comes this time. Baldwin hits his marks. Car goes up on the Jacksonville before Firestone Firehawk tires. Full tank of Speedway Racing fuel. He's down and away as we pick up Charles Teed. And here's a bunch of the rest of these cars coming down pit road. Baldwin stop time, 8.78 seconds. We'll follow along here with Charles Teed. He was also your race leader. Stops coming lap 26, 27, 28 or so for the rest of the field. Kind of in line with what we were expecting to see. Lee Walter Huber overshooting the pit box just a little bit. Teed is down and away. So is Matt Wagner. Alec Coates, James Watson, Timothy Watson, Gary Godso, Cullen Johnson staying out on the racetrack. J.W. Miller, Ty Richter, Joseph Morales, T.J. McMurray on pit road this time. Now that they're working lap 28, the question becomes, can anybody make lap 30? The answer is no. For Alec Coates, James Watson, Timothy Watson, Gary Godso going to stay out on the racetrack. This is the effective battle for the race lead. Gary Godso will have to stop at some point here. unless he's going to stretch it all the way to lap 30 and try to just cut an entire pit stop out of this. No, he's going to be down this time. Alec Coates, James Watson, Timothy Watson, Cullen Johnston, all out and back onto the racetrack. But they will start. They'll have to fall in line behind these cars led by Charles Teed. And quite frankly, not much has changed here at the front of the field. The gaps aren't as close, but the way the draft works in these cars, you're going to see them close right back up as well. Race leader Charles Teed coming up on some lap traffic. Takes a little bit of drafting help here, but that's going to allow Connor Baldwin to get a little bit of help as well. Last time by, fastest lap of the race for Charles Teed, coming in at a 32.043 second lap. Baldwin having a little bit of trouble getting around the lap traffic. So let's reset the field for you here. Charles Teed, your race leader. Connor Baldwin going to be right on his rear wing as they come off at turn number 4. There's Matt Wagner just getting onto the front straightaway. He currently runs in the 3rd position, closely followed behind by J.W. Miller and Ty Richter. Nice run so far for Gary Corley in the number 78. Unsponsored machine. We got to change that. Shoot us a message in the comments if you want to come on board as a sponsor for Gary Corley. Alec Coates running in the 10th position. Or excuse me, in the 7th position in car number 10. Just behind him, the Lamborghini number 61 of Joseph Morales. He will be followed by James Watson. And then Lee Walter Huber to complete the top 10. Jeff Destino going to be the first car, 1 lap down. Jim Brooks also a lap down, still on the racetrack. Victor Aldrich is 8 laps down, currently scored in the 18th position. Julian Altina is out of the race. New fast lap time, last lap by Gary Corley, 31.896 seconds. That 78 machine is fast. This is just going to be how soon can he get up to the front. Here's the battle for the race lead between Charles Teed and Connor Baldwin. Good fight just back behind them. This is a dog pile of race cars here. Matt Wagner, J.W. Miller, Ty Richter, Gary Corley, Alec Coates, all the way back to Joseph Morales and James Watson, 3rd through 9th, battling for position as we work lap number 35. We talked about how the draft was going to pick everybody back up close to each other, and it's happened. Top 6 cars all now nose to tail. From Charles Teed back to 6th place, Gary Corley. It'll be interesting to see if Connor Baldwin has to tone down the fuel mapping a little bit this time. Try to get at least a couple of more laps out of that Baldwin Agriland number 20. Baldwin going to take a peek to the inside. J.W. Miller thought about getting up to the high side. Power move, Connor Baldwin. He'll be your new race leader off of 2. Big draft down the back straightaway for Teed and Miller. 37 laps complete, 36 laps complete in 20 minutes. This race is going to absolutely fly by here this evening. Round number 1 of the second season of Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series competition here on the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have everybody joining us here. My name is Chris Graham from the World Broadcast Headquarters of NRN in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. New quick lap time belongs to Timothy Watson, 31.864. They are hauling the mail here around the Auto Club Speedway. Things starting to get a little bit dicey towards the back of this pack. Oh, big hard wreck into the outside wall. James Watson going to be involved. Huge crash. Lee Walter Huber also involved. Caution number 1 will come out here at lap number 40. Caution is on the speedway because of a big incident off of turn number 4 involving James Watson, Timothy Watson, and Lee Walter Huber towards the back of the pack. Get you the look here. Follow this group down the back straightaway. Watson took a peek down to the inside. Man, that was so incredibly tight. But huge contact towards the back of that pack. And unfortunately, that's going to eliminate 3 very quick drivers here from competition. Race leaders going to make their way down pit road here, including Charles Teed, Connor Baldwin, Charles Teed, J.W. Miller, Matt Wagner, Gary Corley, Alec Coates, all coming down here at lap number 41. And this is where the strategies will start to differentiate themselves. Some of these cars electing to come in at lap number 41. They're about halfway through the fuel run. So it's understandable why you would make the stop here. However, it may commit you to a 5-stop strategy as well if we don't get more caution flags. Your top 3 electing to stay out on the racetrack, and that will be Connor Baldwin, Ty Richter, and Gary Godso. Godso was a lap down not too long ago in this race. See if we can't get a quick word in here with race leader Connor Baldwin. And I tell you what here, brother, that is some, you got some ponies under the hood of that number 20 tonight.
Yes, sir. It just really shot to the front at the start there, and I was able to get a good pit stop and able to keep it up front so far. I'm not sure why everyone else pitted. At least for me, I had about 20 laps left on the stint, so it's made sense to stay out.
Yeah, that was going to kind of be the question here. You're thinking stick to the strategy of pitting when you're pitting. My math says everybody else may have to make a splash and dash here late in this one.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this might be the move here. Just stay out, have my 2 teammates behind me, so we can draft off each other, save fuel, and just stick to the strategy here.
All right, Connor. Well, good luck here the rest of the way here. Fantastic looking number 20 Baldwin Agriland machine up front there.
Thank you, thank you.
So there you go. There's Connor Baldwin, your race leader. Ty Richter, Gary Godso going to be your top 3. As the lights are out, we're going to head back to Green Flag Racing here in just a moment. J.W. Miller running in the 4th position. And it looks like Gary Godso may be freeing up the outside lane. You can pass, once the pace car ducks in, the race is back to green, and you can pass before the start-finish line on the outside of the racetrack only. That may be some of what we're seeing here. Well, maybe not, because Godso gets tucked back up in line here now. So everybody going to get high on the racetrack. Off at turn number 4. We're going to go back to green flag racing, and what do you think here, race fans? We'll give you a shot to crank it up. Lap number 44 is in the books, or lap 43 is in the books, excuse me. Baldwin's still the race leader over Ty Richter, Gary Godso. J.W. Miller making a bid to the outside of Godso down the back straightaway. See if we can check in here in the infield care center with James Watson. And James, unfortunately, not the way you wanted to see this race start off here.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I don't even really know what happened. I gave him as much room as I could. He just kind of split up, and that's all she wrote.
All right, brother. Well, thank you very much. I didn't realize you were back out on the racetrack already. So good luck the rest of the way here, pal. Thank you.
Anytime.
Oh, that's fantastic. We're talking to drivers that are back in the race here live on the air. Actually, Watson is really not in that bad of trouble either, as he's only being scored 1 lap down. Three cars currently 1 lap down: Jim Brooks, Lee Walter Huber, and James Watson. There's a look at Jim Brooks, the first car 1 lap down. He'll be in line to get the lucky dog. And that 51 machine was very, very quick last season. So we can expect to see him move back towards the front of the field. Lee Walter Huber not far behind, and then there is the aforementioned James Watson, all running together towards the back of the pack. Out front, going to be all Connor Baldwin, followed by Ty Richter and Gary Godso. Side-by-side battle, Charles Teed and J.W. Miller. Only 1 caution flag to this point in the race here as we knock on wood. Already getting very close to the halfway point here in this one. With the benefit of the caution flag laps, race leader Connor Baldwin should probably be able to go somewhere in the range of lap 58 to lap 60. So it's going to be another 10 to 12 laps yet before we see these drivers come down pit road. That would be Baldwin, Richter, and Godso. Where the strategy really looks brilliant is if you get a caution flag right in that window where they needed to come in, because everybody else is going to have to come with them. Top 9 cars all running together on the racetrack. Then if we take a look back to 10th place, Timothy Watson. He's battling with TJ McMurray. Jim Brooks is also in that fight as well, but Brooks is being scored a lap down. These cars appear to be in pretty heavy fuel save mode. That caution flag absolutely opened up the possibility of making this a 3-stop race. Back to 6 cars battling for the race lead. Charles T down to the inside. He stopped at lap number 40. A little bit fresher Firestones on that car. In fact, about half a stint fresher tires on the number 50. The other way that Connor Baldwin, Ty Richter, Gary Godso can benefit here is if the race goes green through a full cycle of pit stops, which means they come in, then everybody else has to come in, and then that's when the next caution flag would fly. Oh, we're seeing trouble on the racetrack for Connor Baldwin. Get you a Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay here. Oh, Baldwin just down to the inside and huge impact to the inside retaining wall. Big hit for Connor Baldwin, but it was off the racing line. See if we can get a word here. Connor, what happened out there?
My VR headset just completely crashed. I got black screen there. I tried to get low and out of the way. I'm not sure.
You did. Yes, that was mission very well accomplished. No contact with any other cars, and the car stayed down onto the inside of the racetrack. In fact, we're still green for that matter. So tough break there, though, with the equipment malfunction.
Yeah, the Aero Info IndyCar was really, really fast. That's unfortunate.
All right, brother. Well, tough break tonight. Looking forward to talking to you more next week.
Yep, thank you.
How about that? Driving one of these things blind at 225 miles an hour. That does change the strategy game a little bit here for Ty Richter and Gary Godso as well. Richter hanging in line, trying to draft out as much as he possibly can here. Extend the stint as long as you can. Connor Baldwin able to get everything reset, and he's getting back onto the racetrack now. Couple of laps down. Take a look at him there as he gets onto the back straightaway. Is able to pull the backup car out. So he's going to need some caution flag help. However, not the worst spot to have that happen because it's basically at the end of his stint. So he takes the full fuel load. Also, unfortunately, had to take the quick repair. Oh, Ty Richter way down on the inside of the racetrack. He may be out of fuel. Oh, that's a heartbreaker for Ty Richter. He'll have to go all the way around this racetrack in pretty much clutch and coast mode. Gets it back up in line. But it looks like we will see, at least I thought we were going to see Ty Richter down pit road this time. Maybe not. So we go back to the front of the field. It's 4 cars that stopped at lap number 40. Matt Wagner, Charles Teed, Gary Corley, J.W. Miller. There it was. This is a strategy call. Gary Godso and Ty Richter basically getting nose to tail. They're the 2 cars that stopped last. Richter at lap 27, Godso at lap 29. So Richter knows Godso's going to have to stop soon. Jeff Destino making his way down pit road now. Destino pitting out of the 12th position. Working lap number 60, and we're actually not all that far away from the window opening for your race leaders as well. This could be a huge strategy call. If Gary Godso and Ty Richter can keep these cars up towards the front of the field without having to make the pit stop. Lap 62 is where we saw the anticipated pit window opening here as Connor Baldwin going to head back down pit road. J.W. Miller coming around Charles Teed for the 3rd position. Here comes Gary Godso. Ty Richter going to come down with him this time. Lap number 63. 30-plus lap stint. That is an epic stint for these cars. They'll have to come down and make their stop. Doesn't change anything at the head of the field. Matt Wagner, Gary Corley, J.W. Miller, Charles Teed, Alec Coates, your top 5. Taking a look at the lap times, about a half second off of where we saw fastest laps being turned in that first stint. Matt Wagner opening up an 0.8 of a second advantage over Gary Corley and Charles Teed. Joseph Morales making his way down pit road. He's going to be the first of your lead 10 cars that have to come down for the pit stop. This will be his 3rd stop of the night. And it will come at lap number 66. Cars up on the jacks. He'll be down and away 8.65 seconds. But he's going to end up at least 1 lap down here to race leader Matt Wagner. Morales not getting any help in the drafting department. So he's going to have to hope he slots out in a pretty good position here. Just past the halfway point in this 120-lapper at the Auto Club Speedway. Nine cars remain on the lead lap. Matt Wagner over Charles Teed, Gary Corley, Alec Coates, J.W. Miller in the top 5. Timothy Watson, T.J. McMurray, Cullen Johnston, and Jason Hand will be the cars that are on the lead lap. But as we say that, TJ McMurray going to come down pit road with the 98 of Victor Aldrich. Aldrich well out of contention, 10 laps down in the 18th position. We'll follow along with a stop for TJ McMurray. Jason Hand with a big lockup on his way into the pit area. TJ McMurray down and away, 8.53 seconds on the time of the stop for McMurray. See what Jason Hand's stop will be here. Again, another of the mediocre motorsports cars. That car clearly into the box, up and down. Quickly on the jacks, 8.42 seconds, the time of the stop for Jason Hand. And here comes race leader Matt Wagner down pit road. And he's going to have to do it all by his lonesome. Again, another of the mediocre motorsports cars. A little bit surprised here that we didn't have a little bit better coordination amongst those team members. Wagner coming in at lap number 72. Timothy Watson, Lee Walter Huber, Jim Brooks also in the pit area. That should put James Watson in to be the first car one lap down. We'll pick up Charles Teed, your race leader, as he makes his way down the backstretch. Wagner will be able to do this race on one more stop, and here comes race leader Charles Teed quickly into the pit area. Big lockup on the brakes there to get it wound up to the pit speed limit. Gary Corley, Cullen Johnston going to be coming down this time as well. At this point, every lap you can stay out on the racetrack is a little bit less time you'll have to spend in pit road for that final pit stop. Cullen Johnston making his way out. Charles Teed hits the box cleanly. Cars up on the air jacks for Firestone Firehawk tires. Full tank of Speedway Racing fuel going in that car. He is down and away, 8.35 seconds. Here's Alec Coates pitting out of second position. J.W. Miller getting about the best fuel mileage of the lot here. Coates hits his marks. He is down and away, 8.97 seconds. Last of the leaders to make his way down pit road will be J.W. Miller. Alec Coates going to fall back to the fourth position after the cycle of pit stops. Miller is down and away, 8.67 seconds. He's getting back out on the racetrack. But he will not be your race leader, as there's the battle for the lead. Screaming past into turn number one, Matt Wagner. Charles Teed picking the fight up right where they left off. But it's going to be a 1.2 second gap back to Alec Coates. That may be too far. Down to 44 laps to go. And don't go anywhere after this one, race fans. Another big show coming up at 10:15 in the East. It'll be the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. The official series kicking off at the Hungaroring. Let us know in the comments, who's your pick to win this one here this evening? Will it be Matt Wagner or Charles Teed? Will it be Alec Coates, who's already cut a full second out of the gap that was there? Now going to be a 3-car fight for the race lead. This is just a big game of leapfrog that Charles Teed and Matt Wagner are playing right now. Watch on corner entry. Wagner dives down to the bottom. Teed just gives him the room to come past. Sucks up down the back straightaway. He'll get the drafting help, burn a little bit less fuel, dive back down to the inside at the entry to 3. They will rinse and repeat this process each and every lap. Teed holds the top spot. Wagner gets the big toe. He'll make the dive down into turn 1. The big beneficiary of this is going to be Alec Coates because he doesn't have to burn any fuel as the leader. Pick up the next group of cars back behind them here. Connor Baldwin going to be leading this 3-car pack. Oh, almost a little bit of contact there. Gary Corley up into the outside of Ty Richter. Little right side romance from the 78. Oh, Corley slides right across the nose of Richter on the entry to the corner. That'll introduce a big-time aero push. So all of your race leaders, with the exception of Ty Richter, have stopped as late as lap number 75, as early as lap 71 for Matt Wagner. We're anticipating seeing Ty Richter having to make his next pit stop here anywhere from lap 85 to lap 93 or so. And the interesting thing now is that Richter making that final stop at lap 90, if he can get to 93, that would put him to lap 122. The race is only 120 laps long, but if it goes green all the way to the end, Alec Coates will be able to make it on one more stop. He may just have to do a little bit of fuel saving. Everybody else is going to be good to go when they make their final stops. We are anticipating seeing those stops coming anywhere from lap 93, we'll say lap 90 to lap 100 or so. First car 1 lap down right now going to be Jim Brooks. If we were to get a caution flag, he would be the recipient of the lucky dog if the league runs one. I don't remember if they run the lucky dog or not. Your race leaders continuing to battle here, and Matt Wagner has assumed the role that Alec Coates was in, sitting there towards the back of that group, trying to save some fuel. He needs to save about 3 laps to make it as far as Alec Coates did. Slide back in the pack here again. A whole group of cars battling for position. J.W. Miller, Ty Richter, Gary Corley, Gary Godso. We can also throw Joseph Morales in that one as well. So we'll jump back to the head of the field here because pit stops will be coming up soon, and it will be the final stops of the race for Charles Teed, Alec Coates, and Matt Wagner. And will we see a caution flag? That's going to be the other huge question to come out of this here. Coates may be having a little bit of a connection issue as well. Saw him disappear off the screens for just a moment. That always makes you nervous when you have cars that can potentially netcode with very dangerous results. Sometimes you just kind of want to stay away from them a little bit. The problem is it's the race leader, and they've been doing the draft swapping. So the window is open. Jeff Destino will take advantage of it right now. However, he will be at least 1 lap down to this whole group, if not 2. The question now becomes, when does everybody pit? Does anyone try the undercut strategy late in this race? Or does anyone try the overcut and run it as long as you possibly can and make a very short splash and dash while everybody else has to take at least more fuel than you will have to? Destino back on the racetrack, right in front of your race leaders. Oh, here we go. Race Control checking in with the answer to our question. Waiver rounds and lucky dogs are automatically handed out by iRacing. So there you go. There will be a lucky dog if we get a caution flag. Tell you what, though, extremely clean racing to this point. Looks like the next cars we're going to see on pit road will likely be TJ McMurray and Jason Hand. Both of those cars over 25 laps on the current stint. Matt Wagner's at 24 and a half right now. However, he has been in the draft for quite a while, so he's probably bought himself at least a couple of laps anyway. "25 laps to go here at the California Auto Club Speedway. Alec Coach, Charles Teed, Matt Wagner. No surprise to see these three cars at the head of the field. First car to make their final stops, and it will be J.W. Miller on the pit road now, pitting out of the 6th position. Miller's stint only 22 laps long, but this is going to get him to the end. TJ McMurray also on pit road, and here comes Matt Wagner. The first of the leaders to blink is going to be Matt Wagner heading down pit road now. J.W. Miller down and away, 9.13 seconds, the time of the stop. TJ McMurray down and away, 9 seconds flat on the stop for him. See what Wagner's going to do right in your living room. Car up on the jacks. He is already down and away. 8.1 seconds for 4 Firestone Firehawks. Full tank of Speedway fuel. Now, who can stretch? Who's going to try and make it last the rest of the way? Looks like we're going to see Alec Coates and Charles Teed down pit road this time. No stupid penalties. No entering or exiting pit speeding penalties. New race leader at the head of the field, Gary Corley, as we cycle through pit stops. Here we see the 2 race leaders, Teed and Coates. Oh, and Coates overshoots the box just a hair. He is going to be out of the box after Charles Teed will. Teed is down and away, 8 seconds flat, 10.48 the time of the stop for Alec Coates. Here comes Matt Wagner around into turn number 1. And he will easily clear Charles Teed. Going to try to start breaking the draft all the way down to the backstretch apron. Trouble on the racetrack for Timothy Watson. Let's get a look and see what happened here to Timothy. Coming out of the pit road. Oh, he just caught the white line separating things, noses the car in. He has to take the tow. How about this guy, Gary Corley, your race leader? Last stopped at lap number 73. He's going to have to come this time. Corley is down. He hits the marks. Or at least hits the pit road speed limiter anyway. We'll cover the stop for the number 78 machine. Corley hits his box cleanly. Car goes up on the jacks. Crew rapidly at work. He is already down and away. 8.22 seconds, the time of the stop for Gary Corley. See where that's going to dump him out. Looks like it'll be right about the 8th position. And we now have a 2-car battle for the race win. Matt Wagner, Charles Teed, Alec Coates lost over 2 seconds in the pit stop. He is now 3.5 seconds back of Wagner and Teed just set the fastest lap of the race, 31.823 seconds. Wagner going to tuck up in behind James Watson down the back straightaway. It'll be 15 to go next time by the start-finish line. Watson leaves room on the outside. That'll let your race leaders come through. Alec Coates absolutely in no man's land right now. He has a 5-second gap back to 4th place running Gary Godso. Godso running tight with Ty Richter. J.W. Miller, Joseph Morales also running fairly tight up on each other. Oh, Teed having a difficult time getting through lap traffic. Is that all the gap that Matt Wagner needed? We're going to find out here in the next 13 laps. Teed has caught back up to Matt Wagner, getting a little bit of drafting help from some of the lap cars. And we'll stay with this fight for the race lead. Teed having a look to the outside of Wagner. Entering turn number 3. There's no way these guys are going to run side by side for the next 10 laps or so. That's what we've got left. Couple of outstretched palms at the start-finish line. 10 laps to go. Matt Wagner led that one by half a car length. Teed around the outside. Wagner going to do everything he can now to break the draft, but Teed's going to get a great run down the back straightaway. Arcs it a little bit high into 3. You see him tuck right back in line. That gives him the big suck up off the corner. See what the gap is at the line. Oh, man, how about half a car length again? We are in for a fantastic finish. Give this one a like and a share if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Because this is going to be a barn burner of a finish. Wagner doing exactly what he needs to do, covering the inside line as tightly as he possibly can. He's going to force Charles Teed to get the big run on the outside. See what he does this time. I don't think it's going to be that close as they come down to the line. It is literally the length of Matt Wagner's car at the line. 0.08 of a second. The gap between these two. What tricks does Charles Teed have up his sleeve? And when does he make the move? If I am not mistaken, I'll let Race Control correct me here in the comments, but I believe that apron is fair game on the final lap. I would imagine Matt Wagner's already got that in the back of his head. But if you make too sharp of a move, that can stall the momentum out as well. 5 to go here at Auto Club. Matt Wagner, Charles Teed battling within a couple of car lengths for the race win in the opening round of the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series. Teed again taking a peek to the outside. Yep, here's the comment. The answer from Race Control. Apron is fair game on the white flag lap only. We know it's coming. Somebody is going down there. Could we see a shock winner in Alec Coates if these two wad it up? Teed with a great run off the corner. They're almost making contact into 3. Teed really trying to pinch Wagner down. Three to go. New fastest lap of the race. 31.823 for Charles Teed. My goodness. These guys are flying right now. Alec Coates is not gaining much time at all. You can measure it in the hundredths, the time that he's gaining. Two to go. When does Charles Teed make the big move? He's going to have a great run to the outside of the racetrack. And he clears Matt Wagner down the backstretch. Now Wagner's going to have to decide where to make the move. Did Matt Wagner not want to be first at the white flag? Because here it is. White silks are in the air. 1 lap to go at Auto Club. Teed holds down that inside lane. He's about half a car width off the white line at the bottom of the racetrack. Wagner with a big run down the back straightaway. Not enough momentum to clear him there. Once again, Wagner's going to arc the corner. This one's going to be tight. Down the front straightaway. Final time. Teed down to the apron. Drag race to the line. Oh, Charles Teed by 1/3 of a car length. What a finish. Charles Teed, your race winner. Matt Wagner coming up 0.03 of a second short. What a finish. Here at the Auto Club Speedway, Charles Teed gets the win over Matt Wagner, and Alec Coates will round out your podium here this evening. There's your podium finishers down there for the victory lane photo shoot. Charles Teed burning them down in victory lane. While he's throwing the party, we'll show you the final race results here this evening. Charles Teed, the race winner by 26 thousandths of a second over Matt Wagner. Alec Coates rounds out the podium. Ty Richter, Gary Godso, your top 5. 6th place going to belong to Joseph Morales. 7th, Gary Corley. 7th, J.W. Miller. 8th, Gary Corley. 9th, Jeff Testino. And 10th to T.J. McMurray. Cullen Johnston, Jason Hand, Jim Brooks, Lee Walter Huber, and James Watson back through 15th. Victor Aldrich, Timothy Watson, Connor Baldwin, and Julian Altino will round out the field. What a heartbreaker for Connor Baldwin. That car was spectacular here this evening. We got the replays ready to go, and we'll kick things off here at the white flag with 3rd place finisher tonight. We'll get Alec Coates up here into the booth with us, and I tell you what, Alec, that number 10 Mediocre Motorsports entry was pretty darn spectacular tonight.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty gutted though. I made my fair share of pit stop mistakes over time, but that one was one that I don't think was warranted. I was right into the box, and it was literally probably a quarter of an inch too far and made me back up, and that was it. That half a second was what I lost the draft from Teed, and it would have been a three-way battle, but can never be too upset with the podium to start the year.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the I hate to even call it a miscue on pit road. I mean, I guess that's what you would call it. But you said you didn't miss it by much. What were you thinking as you were coming down for that final stop? I mean, you had to be very confident in how that car was running all night.
Yeah, I really did. I mean, there's been a few times in the past 2 seasons that I've felt like I've had a chance to win, and this was definitely probably the first. I could really do anything with it. The other 2 guys are great. Great to run with, clean. I knew it was going to end up probably a 3-wide finish. I knew it had to be perfect. My pit entrance was on the money. I got in quick, backed it down way more than I even usually do, and thought I was right on the mark, and I guess it was an inch too far. I mean, you can look back at it. It's not like I slid through it or anything. I just stopped thinking I was right next to my right fronts, and obviously that's not what iRacing thought about it.
Oh, that's just absolutely brutal. Well, I tell you what, I'll say tough break. You're not the Hard Luck Award recipient of the award for the night. That one's going to go to Connor Baldwin. But all in all, a great run, a great way to start the season, and it's got to be a huge confidence boost as we head into a very long season coming up here.
Oh, yeah, it's a great way to start it. 19 guys tonight, pretty good showing. I know there's a handful more, actually, that just couldn't make it tonight, and they'll be back. So getting over 20 guys and a lot of skill in here. So love to see it. League keeps growing, keep putting on good results like tonight. Yeah, I'm thrilled with my race. That sucks totally at the end, but can't be too upset with a pretty clean podium.
All right, Alec, thank you very much here. Before we let you go, let's get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Grid Rival, as always. We haven't really worked out too many details yet for this year, but they were a big supporter last year. And Aaron, you guys do a great job, and that was one of our main goals in the off season this last month, was to make sure you guys were back on board. You guys put a great product out there, and we're definitely appreciate having you on board. So thanks as always, Chris, and I look forward to checking it out later tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for the kind words here, and good luck the rest of the season. Let's bring up our runner-up finisher here this evening. Runner-up by 26 thousandths of a second. I'm assuming you let Charles pass at the 1.5 to go or whatever it was. Basically, you didn't want to be in the lead at the white flag.
No, that was not the case. Turns 1 and 2 has a different banking than 3 and 4. So if you go too low on that banking, you are forced to lift, and if not, you're going to drift up into the car above you. So I had no other choice. I didn't want to take out Charles, so that forced me to lift, and he got on by me.
Wow, was that the only mistake you made all night? I mean, that was both you and Charles were pretty darn incredible in the racing you put on at the front of the field.
I'm guessing if I would have put more weight jacker in it, I have no idea what would have happened. Never know. I can't rewind it, so I can't go back and do a mulligan. What's done is done. I'm pretty happy with second place.
Well, I was going to say, you're debuting the #1 plate tonight as the defending champion of the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series. A pretty big momentum boost here to head into weeks 2 through 15 or whatever it is with a good second place showing. You're up on the podium consistently. That's really the backbone of how you win championships.
Yes, sir. Speaking of that, if like I said, the road course, I've need to step up my game. Need to get less incidents. So had a little incident early with Charles. I just barely bumped him. That was a little bit of a scary moment, but Robin's racing, but we didn't take each other out. So
I tell you what, man, fantastic drive tonight. Congratulations on a good podium to start the season, and let's get the plugs and thank yous in here.
Okay. I'd like to thank you, especially thanks to Area 51, HyperX, LMC Gear, Troy Lee Designs, and my good buddies over at TWR, my teammates. So I'm pretty grateful to carry the #1 car throughout the whole season. Especially, I'd like to thank Charles. Now he can get that monkey off his back. Now he stop being everybody's bitch. That's what he said the other week. So,
oh, that's fantastic.
I remember him saying that in an interview, so I had to bring that up. So.
Oh, that's beautiful. Matt, thank you very much. We appreciate it here. Let's get our race winner in here, Mr. Charles Teed. Matt Wagner just told us that now you can be done being everybody's bitch.
It's getting old. They've been making me their bitch like I told you guys last season. It was due. I told him today in the chat that I was going to get him, and pretty fortunate the way it worked out with a lot of green runs to spread us out a little bit and let me sit behind him and size him up the last 20 laps. There was no reason to go back and forth. It was really just get us to the end and separate us. And once I realized that I could pinch him down off of 2 and make him crack the throttle, and I had him on 1 lap, and I'm like, let's just let him stay there because we're going to do it again. And sometimes the plans come together. It's not very often, as you can see, but we got that son of a bitch.
I tell you what, the racing up front was really good. Did you happen to notice Alex's pit issue? And at that point, or at least you saw him disappear off the relative anyway.
Yeah.
You kind of knew then it was going to be a 2-on-1, and you really didn't have anybody else to worry about.
Exactly right. And I shouldn't have pitted on the same lap he did because it affected my pit entry. I didn't get in as good as he did. I think my stop before was fantastic because I came out ahead of Matt, and Matt had to run me down. But you know what? Then Matt would have run me down and probably done it to me. So it's everything worked out like it was supposed to. But yeah, it was that was a lot of fun. The setup really allowed you to race. The push wasn't too bad, and I don't know what it was like the rest of the field, but we had some really good battles. A couple times I got in the middle of the pack, and the car was just worked so good with our settings, and drove right through the field. So we'll take it. It's about damn time.
Yeah, it was an impressive drive. You and Matt put on an absolute show there at the end. How much confidence does it give you? You talk about being able to pinch him down a little bit. You've run with Matt for years at this point now. You probably couldn't do some of that stuff to a driver you don't know as well. That probably played a bit part in that as well.
It played a huge part. There's a lot of new guys in this field that I'm not familiar with, and if you notice through the early and mid portions of the race, I was trying to set Matt up to give him the draft so that he and I could stay together. because he and I race in 3 or 4 leagues together. We race together almost every damn night, and so I absolutely trust him, and I know he can trust me to not. I know accidents happen every now and then, but I knew that was the only chance because I tried to over under him, and it just was not going to happen. The only way was to pinch him off of 2.
Did you have any concerns that by going to the apron off of turn number 4, that might compromise your speed at all?
I did, and so that was my other ace in the hole, hoping that Matt forgot that we could do that if I wasn't able to get around him. And I switched to -7 on the weight jacker coming through turn 3. So, because I knew it was going to be dancing, and I just didn't lift. If I went across sideways, I was going to go across sideways. It was fun though. That was he's a good one to race against, and when you beat him, you know you're beating one of the good drivers. In some of our other leagues, we're racing against the very best iRacing has to offer for IndyCars. And it's nice there's only a couple of us in this field, so we can kind of beat on each other a little bit rather than having 7 or 8 other guys giving us the business. So I'll take it.
I'll tell you what, brother, congratulations. Well done tonight. That was absolutely fantastic. Let's get all the plugs and thank yous in here before we let you go, too.
Yeah, I wanted to thank Colin and Alec for putting this league together. Great job by them. Want to thank, obviously, our Dark Horse guys that we kind of run in parallel with them. You guys for putting on. I watch your broadcasts every night after I put my kids to bed on these oval races that I run. And, yeah, it's HyperX, Troy Lee Designs. We got a good group of people that help us out. Butt kicker. So, yes.
All right,
lots I could keep going on. Thank you, though. Thank you again for your broadcast. You crack me up when I listen to the things you say. One of these days, I'll hop up in the broadcast booth with you and do a race.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, brother. We appreciate it. And, man, what an incredible way to kick off our second season of coverage of the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series, coming to you from Auto Club Speedway here in Fontana, California. Oh, man, I'm pumped. If we're going to get that every week out of this series, there is going to be a lot of spectacular racing coming up here. You don't want to miss it. The other thing you don't want to miss coming up here at 10:15 in the East, it will be the Indy Pro 2000 official series. That one's going to be an absolute blast to keep our eye on as well here. Make sure you come back and check out, see what Greg Seitz and the rest of the animals over there in the PM18s are going to be able to do this season. With that, though, we got to say a couple of quick thank yous here to round out the night. First and foremost, our friends from Hot Shoe Racewear. Check them out at hotshoeracewear.com for all of your needs, whether it's workwear, streetwear, racewear, don't matter what it is. Hot Shoe Racewear is going to have you looking your best. Find them online at hotshoeracewear.com and tell them that NRN sent you. Also, Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey, your one-stop shop for the best in floor coatings, treatments. I don't care if it's your garage, your shop, your deck, even your porch, whatever it is going to be looking great year-round once you get a hold of the fine folks at Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Find them on Facebook at Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And Grid Rival, the entitlement partner of the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series. It's a Formula One and MotoGP fantasy racing app. Really neat. You basically pick your group of drivers and a team, stay within the budget, and you get to compete against your friends and talk a little smack while you're doing it. Once you download the Grid Rival app from the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, wherever you get your apps on all your mobile devices, search for ESRA, and you'll be able to play against the drivers, team owners, broadcasters, and everybody else associated here with the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series. With that, we're going to wrap things up here from Fontana, California. We will be back at 10:15 in the East with the Indy Pro 2000 Official Championship. For everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will talk to you in just a little bit. Have a great night, everybody.